Hey and welcome to the Daily Manchester United News Show. Let's begin with our daily news. Man United set price tag for Fred, Galatasaray leading the race to sign him. Manchester United have set their asking price for Fred amid interest from Galatasaray and Lazio, according to Corriere dello Sport. The Red Devils have made the decision to offload the Brazil international, who has already entered the final year of his contract. Galatasaray have been in regular negotiations with United for the 30-year-old, but they are yet to agree on a transfer fee for him. Amidst this, Corriere dello Sport claimed that United have set a price between 10 to 15 million euros for Fred, who cost them 60 million euros from Shakhtar. Lazio president Claudio Lolito has the midfielder on the club's shortlist, but manager Mauricio Sarri is not convinced over signing him. Galatasaray are currently deemed favorites to land the experienced United star. The Brazilian has not traveled for the preseason tour of the United States due to personal reasons. It appears he could leave the club in the coming weeks as they look to recoup funds for more signings. United have already purchased Mason Mount and Andre Onana in the summer transfer window. They are currently pushing to land the services of striker Rasmus Hojlund from Atalanta. More incomings would depend on player sales. Fred is one of the likely candidates to leave. United have already identified Sofiane Amrabat as his potential successor in the squad. Aside from Fred, Donny van de Beek is likely to head for the exit door amid La Liga interest. Sociedad have proposed to sign him on a season-long loan with an option to buy. Scott McTominay has also been linked with an exit, but United value him highly. The Scot is on the radar of West Ham United, but would only leave for a significant fee. Real Sociedad opened talks with Man United to sign Donny van de Beek on loan with buy option. Real Sociedad have opened negotiations with Manchester United over a potential deal for midfielder Donny van de Beek, according to Fabrizio Romano. The Netherlands international has been with the Red Devils for the past 3 seasons, but he has registered just 2 goals and 2 assists from 60 games. The 26-year-old has clearly struggled to adapt to English football, and could be time for him to pursue a new challenge elsewhere to revive his faltering career. It's now reported that Sociedad have come up with a proposal to sign Van de Beek on loan with an option to buy. Nothing else is specified. The Dutchman joined the Red Devils from Ajax for £35 million in September 2020. He arrived with the reputation of being one of the best box-to-box midfielders in Europe. However, he has simply failed to meet the expectations. Van de Beek has been playing in his shadow at United. His situation has not changed despite working with Erik ten Hag. Ten Hag managed him for 2.5 seasons at Ajax. It was anticipated that Van de Beek could find form under him at United, but that was not the case last season. In our view, Van de Beek needs to move on from United for his own benefit. He is unlikely to be a regular starter for the Red Devils due to the heavy competition for places. Bruno Fernandes is an undisputed starter from the attacking midfield role, while United have Mason Mount and Christian Eriksen as the regulars for the number 8 spot. At Sociedad, he could be guaranteed playing time from the number 10 role. With David Silva's retirement, the door is now open for Van de Beek to make the position his own. Manchester United and Nottingham Forest still in negotiations for Dean Henderson. Manchester United and Nottingham Forest are still in talks over a deal for English goalkeeper Dean Henderson, according to The Athletic. Having spent last season on loan with the Tricky Trees, where he was an undisputed starter, Henderson has been linked with a permanent switch this summer. United and Forest agree that the deal should be an initial loan plus an obligation to buy, but the number of games needed to trigger the obligation is currently a bone of contention. Forest want Henderson to have played up to 30 games before they are obliged to sign him, but United are insisting on a much lower range of 2 to 5 games. The 26-year-old is currently recovering from a thigh problem, which saw him miss the final 4 months of action last season. On that basis, it's understandable why Forest would want some guarantee about his fitness before acquiring his services on a long-term basis. With Forest in dire need of a new goalkeeper since letting Keylor Navas return to parent club Paris Saint-Germain, they are expected to get a deal done for Henderson over the line. Henderson would be the latest player to leave Old Trafford for the summer off the back of Anthony Elanga's move earlier this week. On the incoming front, United are drawing increasingly closer to completing a deal for Danish striker Rasmus Hojlund. The Red Devils have sent an initial offer worth up to 60 million euros, but Atalanta are holding out for at least 70 million euros. However, both parties continue to negotiate and an agreement is on the horizon. Man United reject West Ham bid for Harry Maguire. West Ham's United's opening bid worth £20 million for Harry Maguire has fallen on Manchester United's deaf ears. According to The Athletic, United's rejection could deter David Moyes from making another approach for the 30-year-old defender, given their concerns over the player's hefty wages. Maguire has tumbled down the pecking order under Erik ten Hag and was only recently stripped of the club's captaincy following a string of underwhelming performances over the past couple of seasons. His future at Old Trafford is in limbo, as Bruno Fernandes' appointment as the new skipper clarified the Dutch manager's stance on the Englishman's first-team prospect. Despite his less favourable status at Man United, the former Leicester City man isn't overly enthusiastic about leaving the club, even though his chances of making Gareth Southgate's England squad could dwindle. Southgate informed Maguire last month that his unexisting playing time at the Theatre of Dreams could throw his international career into a corridor of doubt ahead of next summer's European Championship. Regardless of his perennial struggle at the Red Devils, the former United captain has been an always present figure on the national team, but that could change next season. A potential move to West Ham could help the troubled centre-back reignite his club career and return to the Three Lions gaffer's good grace for the upcoming tournament. Man United cannot recoup a staggering £80 million fee they poured into Leicester's bank account to sign Maguire in 2019. Yet, they won't let the Hammers pay pennies on the dollar for their out-of-favour man. West Ham will take some time to reevaluate their options and decide whether to return with an improved offer or switch to other less expensive targets. Manchester United learn extent of injury to their young star. Manchester United have provided an update on the extent of Kobbie Mainoo's injury, which he suffered during the opening minutes of the Red Devils' 2-0 defeat against Real Madrid. According to United's website, the midfielder suffered an ankle injury during the preseason game and is expected to be out for the first part of the 23-24 season. Despite the midfielder being included in United's travelling squad for the game against Borussia Dortmund, the midfielder will now miss the rest of the preseason tour and the start of the new season. In their statement, United also confirmed that the midfielder would be travelling back to the UK. The report read, "He has flown home from tour to the UK, where further assessment of his injury will take place before a medical decision on the next steps." The injury comes at a terrible time for the youngster, who had impressed in every game he had played during preseason and was seemingly forcing his way into Erik ten Hag's plans, but the setback will limit that progress for a few weeks at least. Samuel Luxhurst from the Manchester Evening News has claimed that Mainoo could miss up to 2 months due to the injury, which would be a bitter blow for United and Ten Hag, who had seemingly begun trusting the youngster to start in the big games. Journalist claims Mohamed Kudus would be keen to reunite with Man United boss Erik ten Hag. Ajax star Mohamed Kudus would be tempted to reunite with manager Erik ten Hag at Manchester United, according to Dutch journalist Marcel van der Kraan. The Ghana international was in fine form for Ajax last season. scoring 18 goals and providing 7 assists from 42 appearances across all competitions. He is now keen on pursuing a bigger challenge away from Amsterdam, and Van der Kraan believes United could be a possible destination for the forward. Speaking to Sky Sport, Van der Kraan highlighted that Kudus is not at the top of United's wish list, but could be an ideal alternative target for the club. He added that the 22-year-old is very keen on a move to the Premier League, and he would not turn down a reunion with Ten Hag at the Red Devils. He said, Mohamed Kudus is a really interesting player in terms of midfield and striker. He can play both. This is why he is on the horizon on their list. He may not be the number one yet, but if any of the players mentioned fail to come and talks break down, Kudus could be an ideal option. Quite significantly, who is in a training camp with Ajax in the south of Germany near München, has made it clear he wants to leave. When a player says that, he usually has something lined up. He is very keen on a move to the Premier League, whether that is a top club in London or Manchester. As soon as Ten Hag would knock on his door, he would go. In our view, Kudus is currently not a top target for the club, but the scenario could be different in the coming weeks if they can recoup sufficient funds from outgoings. United are currently prioritizing the transfer of a new striker. They are already in negotiations with Atalanta over a potential deal for Rasmus Hojlund. If the club are successful in landing him, their next focus could be on signing a defensive midfielder. Fiorentina's Sofiane Amrabat is on the club's wish list. Man United will move for £30 million Sofiane Amrabat, depending on player sales. Manchester United will consider a move for Fiorentina midfielder Sofiane Amrabat, depending on player sales in the coming weeks, according to The Guardian. The Red Devils are currently in advanced talks with Atalanta for striker Rasmus Hojlund, and it's suggested that they could sign him for £60 million. Once they reach an agreement, United could pursue a defensive midfielder. Amrabat is the top target for the club, but they may need to sell players first. Harry Maguire, Fred, Donny van de Beek, Dean Henderson, Anthony Martial, and Scott McTominay are among those that could be sold for the right price. United require around £30 million to purchase Amrabat from La Viola. The Moroccan has developed into one of the best holding midfielders in Serie A. The 26-year-old recently delivered a quality display against West Ham United in the UEFA Conference League final, though Fiorentina ended up on the losing side. His distribution and ball control from the center of the park are his main strength. He does not concede possession easily. These are qualities that would suit the manager. Casemiro has been brilliant from the defensive midfield role since his arrival from Real Madrid, but Erik ten Hag may want strong competition in every spot next season. McTominay and Fred deputized in Casemiro's absence last term, but neither were consistent. Amrabat would be a good upgrade on the pair for the new campaign. United are currently looking for offers for Fred. Galatasaray have expressed an interest in signing him, but they have only offered €8 million to purchase the Brazilian star. Van de Beek is presently the subject of loan interest from Real Sociedad. McTominay is on the radar of West Ham United. The Red Devils want at least €40 million to sell him. Manchester United submit new €62 million plus €5 million offer for Rasmus Hojlund. Manchester United have tabled a new offer worth €62 million plus €5 million in add-ons for Atalanta striker Rasmus Hojlund, according to Alfredo Padula. Atalanta are demanding 68 to 70 million euros transfer fee, but United are hoping to reach a compromise with the Italian outfit. Footmercato report that the deal could be finalized for around 65 plus 10 million euros in bonuses. Erik ten Hag wants the Red Devils to sign a new striker to boost his attacking options. Harry Kane was United's ideal centre-forward target, but a hefty price tag forced them to look at other options. Rasmus Hojlund could soon be a Man United player. The 20-year-old has already agreed personal terms with United, and he is eager to switch to the theatre of dreams. The two clubs are also moving in the direction of reaching an agreement. United are reluctant to be drawn into meeting Atalanta's sky-high transfer valuation of the striker. They firmly held their fort in the deals for Mason Mount and Andre Onana. Hojlund possesses incredible potential, but he is still a raw talent. He might take some time to settle in the Premier League. He bagged 10 goals in 34 matches for Atalanta and 6 goals in as many appearances for Denmark last season. Ten Hag loves to work with young guns and has the ability to mold them into world-class players. United's latest offer is close to Atalanta's asking price, implying that the transfer chase should be nearing its end. Anthony Martial is the only recognized striker at Ten Hag's disposal. The Frenchman saw his game time curtailed last season as he suffered several injuries. I will be uploading daily Manchester United news, so keep your eyes on the channel and don't forget to like and subscribe. I appreciate your support. Peace out.